Breaking news from the Roloff universe, and this changes everything we thought we knew about the family dynamic. We're talking about a situation so volatile, so legally complex, and so emotionally devastating that TLC cameras were allegedly forced to cut the feed. We have received urgent reports regarding Matt Roloff's recent back surgery, a procedure that was supposed to be routine, but has reportedly spiraled into a family-shattering standoff involving hospital security, a secret legal document, and a crying Zach Roloff in a hospital lobby. If these insider theories are correct, what happened in that recovery room wasn't just a medical emergency, it was a calculated coup. We are looking at what we are calling the medical lockdown theory. Before we dive into the minute-by-minute breakdown of this alleged incident, you need to understand the stakes. This isn't just about Matt's spine. This is about control. For years, we have watched the slow erosion of the Roloff family unit, but what took place last Tuesday takes the manipulation to a level we have never seen before. We are hearing whispers that police intervention was threatened against Amy Roloff at the hospital. You heard that correctly. The mother of Matt's children, the woman who built the farm alongside him, was reportedly barred from the surgical floor. And the reason? A secret document that Matt signed while arguably under duress or influence. We are peeling back the layers on the power of attorney plot. Let's set the scene based on the fragmented information coming from our sources on the ground in Oregon. Matt Roloff has been struggling with his back for decades. We know this. It is his Achilles heel. When Matt goes in for surgery, he is vulnerable. He is scared. And most importantly, he is heavily medicated. Anyone who has undergone major spinal fusion knows that the recovery drugs are potent. You are not yourself. You are suggestible. And according to a terrifying new theory circulating among insiders, this vulnerability was weaponized. The timeline begins at 6 a.m. Matt is wheeled into the prep room. The mood is somber. Usually in these situations, you would expect a rallying of the troops. In previous seasons, whenever Matt had a health scare, the family put their differences aside. Amy would be there. The kids would be there. It was a moment of unity. But sources suggest that this time, the atmosphere was icy. Why? Because Caryn Chandler was reportedly acting as the gatekeeper from the moment they arrived at the facility. We are hearing that days before this surgery, a specific legal document was executed. This is the smoking gun. We believe Caryn may have convinced Matt to sign a medical power of attorney. Now, on the surface, this sounds standard. Partners often hold this power. But in a family as fractured as the Roloffs, giving Caryn the legal authority to make medical decisions, and more importantly, to control visitation rights, is akin to handing a loaded weapon to a hostage taker. The theory is that this document was presented to Matt as a safety precaution, buried perhaps within a stack of farm estate paperwork or NDA updates. Matt, trusting Caryn, signs it. He unknowingly hands her the keys to his isolation. Fast forward to 10 a.m. Matt is in surgery. The procedure is long and risky. In the waiting room, the family begins to gather. Now, despite the feuds, despite the farm negotiations falling apart, Amy shows up. This is crucial to understand. Amy Roloff, for all the drama, has always shown up for the father of her children when life hangs in the balance. Witnesses claim Amy, Zach, and Tori arrived at the hospital lobby looking visibly anxious. There was no filming crew with them. This was real life. They were there to support Matt. Zach was reportedly pacing, holding his phone, waiting for updates. They were acting like a family. But then, the shift happens. This is where the narrative turns into a nightmare. Around noon, just as the surgery is concluding and Matt is being moved to recovery, the family expects to go up. They expect to be the familiar faces Matt sees when he wakes up from the anesthesia. They want him to know he is loved, that despite the arguments over property lines and pumpkins, he is still dad, and he is still grandpa. Instead of a doctor coming out to greet them, a hospital administrator and a security officer reportedly approached the group. Imagine the confusion. Amy stands up, coffee in hand, expecting news on Matt's vitals. Instead, she is hit with a stone-cold directive. The administrator allegedly informs them that the patient has a strict no visitors protocol in place, authorized by his medical power of attorney. Amy, understandably, is confused. She likely pushes back, stating she is his ex-wife of 30 years, his business partner, and these are his children. The bond between a father and his children usually overrides a girlfriend's preference. But the law is the law, and hospitals are terrified of lawsuits. If the power of attorney says no visitors except the agent, the hospital must enforce it. The insider reports allege that Caryn Chandler had enacted a lockdown on Matt's room. She effectively banned Amy and the kids from the floor. This is the villain's move we have been warning you about. By barring them from the room, Caryn isn't just being petty, she is controlling the narrative. Think about it. Matt wakes up groggy, in pain and confused. He looks around the room. Who does he see? He sees Caryn. Who does he not see? He doesn't see Amy. He doesn't see Zach. He doesn't see the grandkids. In his medicated state, he doesn't know they are downstairs fighting security to get to him. He doesn't know Zach is in tears in the lobby because he can't see his dad. All Matt knows is what Caryn tells him. And this is the terrifying speculation. Caryn leans over the bed, holding his hand, and whispers, "I'm the only one here, Matt. They didn't come. They don't care. It's just us." She is rewriting reality in real time. She is confirming his worst fears, that his family only cares about the farm, not him. By physically blocking them, she manufactures the evidence to support her lies. It is a masterclass in manipulation. See, I told you they were ungrateful. I told you they wouldn't show up. Meanwhile, 3 floors down, Amy is reportedly causing a scene, demanding to see the paperwork. Let's analyze the Amy arrested hook. While we haven't found a mugshot, sources indicate the confrontation in the lobby escalated to the point where security threatened to detain Amy for trespassing if she did not lower her voice and leave the premises. Can you imagine the humiliation? Amy Roloff, a public figure, a mother, being threatened with handcuffs at the hospital where her ex-husband is lying unconscious, simply because she wants to check on him. And the footage. Oh, if this footage exists, it is the holy grail of reality TV leaks. We are hearing reports of bystanders capturing video of Zach Roloff, the stoic son who rarely shows public emotion, breaking down in the waiting area. Zach realizes that Caryn has won. She has built a wall around his father that he cannot climb. This isn't just about surgery. It's a realization that they have lost access to Matt entirely. If she can block them here, in a life-or-death scenario, she can block them from the farm. She can block them from the will. The theory goes deeper. Why would Caryn take such a drastic risk? Banning the family is a declaration of war. If Matt finds out the truth, she's done. But she is betting on the fact that she can control the information flow long enough to poison the well. She knows that recovery is a long road. For the next 2 or 3 days in that hospital room, Matt is a captive audience. No cell phone, no driving, just Caryn and the pain meds. It is an indoctrination period. We have to look at the psychology here. Caryn knows that the audience, us, the viewers, and the family are catching on to her influence. She needs to sever the emotional tie between Matt and his kids once and for all. If Matt believes that Zach and Amy abandoned him during surgery, it justifies everything. It justifies selling the farm to strangers. It justifies cutting them out of the estate. It justifies moving to Arizona permanently. This was not a spur-of-the-moment decision by Caryn. This was a tactical strike. Reports say that while the family was arguing in the lobby, Caryn was texting updates to her own circle, positioning herself as the exhausted sole caretaker. "It's so hard doing this alone," she might text. "Wish the kids would step up." It is the ultimate gaslighting. She creates the void and then complains about the void. Now consider the nurse's role in this. We have heard rumors of a whistleblower staff member. Let's call her Jane to protect her identity. This staff member allegedly witnessed the interaction inside the room. According to these unverified accounts, the hospital staff felt uncomfortable. They saw a loving family downstairs and a gatekeeper upstairs, but their hands were tied by the legal document. However, human nature is a powerful thing. Nurses observe everything. They see who holds the hand with love and who holds the hand with possession. The tension in that lobby must have been suffocating. Amy, realizing she is powerless legally, has to make a choice. Does she leave and let Caryn win? Or does she stay and risk being escorted out by police? This is the cliffhanger of the first act. Amy Roloff is not a woman who backs down easily. She has dealt with Matt's bulldozing for decades. She knows his patterns. But she doesn't know Caryn's playbook. Not fully. Caryn plays dirty in a way Matt never did. Matt was stubborn. Caryn is strategic. This medical lockdown theory also explains the sudden silence on social media during that week. Usually we get prayers, updates, and photos. But that week, radio silence. Why? Because the family was in crisis mode. They weren't posting because they were panicked. They were locked out. The silence wasn't privacy. It was censorship. As we move deeper into this story, you have to ask yourself, how did Matt not know? Or, and this is a darker theory, did Matt agree to this beforehand? Was he so convinced by Caryn that his family was toxic that he signed the paper knowing it would be used this way? We want to believe Matt is the victim of manipulation here, the groggy patient being lied to. But what if he is the co-conspirator? What if he wanted to test them? Let's see if they try to break in. No, that doesn't fit the profile. Matt loves the image of the patriarch. He wants the bedside photo op. He wants the world to see the devoted clan. This smells like Caryn's agenda, not Matt's vanity. The insider chatter suggests that Chris Merrick, Amy's husband, was calm in the storm. While Amy was ready to storm the elevators, Chris was allegedly trying to charm the front desk, trying to find a loophole. We just want to drop off a card, or we just want to know his blood pressure. Chris is the diplomat.